Welcome to Jazz Time. Jazz Time is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to purchase it at the lowest price anywhere online, click the link in the description below to buy it at jazztime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Frosted Gold Double Balance Wheel Openworked white gold with a rainbow bezel, 37mm, the smaller size, reference 15468BC.YG.1259BC.01. I'll tell you a little bit about the history, and then I'll tell you where this watch stands in a lineup of similar Royal Oaks or open works. Then I'll talk to you about the bezel, dial, bracelet, case movements, finally try it on and give my thoughts. So we'll start with that history. The history of the Royal Oak is, I'm sure you've heard it before, but it was created in 1972 by Gerald Jetta, and it was the first luxury sports watch. Since then, Audemars Piguet has taken the Royal Oak to new heights, massive new heights. They've made hundreds, literally hundreds of variations that they built a massive brand off of this watch. It's their #1 bestseller, and it's their most iconic watch. Almost anybody who has any passion to watches will recognize the look of an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. It is hands down their best seller. They have the most number of variation. It's been around for the longest time, and it's really the symbol of Audemars Piguet. In fact, you could even take off the emblem and the name, where just show the watch itself, and people would still recognize it as an Audemars Piguet. You can't say that about a lot of different watches, maybe with the exception of the Rolex Datejust, the Submariner, or maybe the Patek Philippe. I really can't think of any more that you could just look at the watch itself, not look at the name of it, and just tell what it is. Okay, at any rate, that's a little bit about the history. Soon after, Audemars Piguet came out with this amazing Royal watch that has so influenced the watch market since its inception. Another big brand called Patek Philippe also came out with their version. Then Vacheron came out with their version. Then Gerard Piguet came out with theirs, and so on and so forth. Many different brands have followed suit. Audemars was the first one. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best one. They are a very good one, though. I would say the #1 and the #2 are Audemars Piguet and Patek. But the other ones are also not bad at all. Okay, at any rate, that was the history. Let's talk about where this specific watch stands in the lineup of similar open works. Now, the open work has been going on for quite some time. In fact, they were doing it, as I say, in Audemars Piguet, they were doing open works like 100 years ago. The point was to remove the dial, decorate the inner working of the watch, do an amazing polish and beveled edges, and finish all of the movement inside so that the wearer could admire that. They were doing that on dress watches. There's a Piguet AP, I call it sometimes. They started doing it on their own Royal Oaks not that long ago. So I probably want to say they were doing for their perpetual calendars and some of their old school ones, I will say 30 or so years ago, 20 or 30. Not that it's really important because we're looking at this watch. So when did AB come out with a double balance wheel? Now, it's called a double balance wheel. It has two balance wheels. There's one on the top here, and I believe the one on top here. So they have a double balance wheel, two balance wheels. And so the point is the watch has more than one balance wheel. AP is badass. So they have two balance wheels, not surprising, but it's an open work, and it has been around for about 10 years. I think we, as at Jazz Time, were selling this watch with this movement back in, I think 2014, 2013, 14, something like that. I think 2014 was when they first came out with the double balance wheel idea, and immediately when it came out, it was already selling above list. Back then, it was a lot cheaper, but it was a long time ago. So this model has been out for quite some time now. It's still in production. They were also making other variations of the open work. They were making it in 39. They were also doing it with a Flying Tourbillon. This double balance wheel is still in production, and it's rightfully so because I don't think it's going out of style in Type 2. It's an open work dial, and it's absolutely beautiful. It was cutting edge back then, and it is still cutting edge now. Now, they made many different variations of that, but we're going to talk about that. First, let's talk about a 41 boulder. That was the first time they did it in steel, and then they did it in rose gold, and then it was what everybody wanted. So they decided to put it in a 37mm, and that is what we're looking at now, the 37. Now, that basically comes out to a large and a Now, if you're a man and you have a wrist size of under 7 inches, you could probably wear this 37. And if you're a woman with a wrist size of at least 6 inches, you could very easily get away wearing this watch. Now, it just depends on wrist size. I would call this one a man's or a woman's watch. I would call it a unisex watch. It just depends on your wrist size. It could go either way, but definitely 41 is for men just because they typically have bigger wrists. And then you lucked out because retail on this watch is somewhere, I think, 140, 150K range. It's selling on the open market, which is on juststop.com, for less than 200,000. So it's not that much of a markup. I know it's still a $50,000 markup, but imagine what you do have to do to get this watch for your 80. Get on your knees and, take a guess. So it is not that bad. All right, anyways, let's move on to the case itself. All right, now the watch is made of white gold and they made this double ballast wheel only in precious metals for 37 things. They do make it in steel for 41, but 37 only in precious metals. That means white, yellow, and rose gold. They also make it with diamonds. Now, for the case itself, it is 37 millimeters, and that is my index finger, the 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. It's hard to see the dial here because there's actually no dial on here, but that's not really what you wear this watch for. You wear it for the beauty, the amount of craftsmanship, the exclusivity that it brings to the table, which it brings the maximum amount if you ask me, and people who want to buy it or want to wear it and desire it, okay? Now, also the case, I might remind you, is white gold. Obviously, you're looking at it, and you see it has this very port polish to it. AP calls it their frosted gold finish. Now, how do you achieve a frosted gold finish? You take regular gold and you literally take a small hammer to it and you hammer it by hand, making these little divots so that it falls was concrete. And what that achieves, if you do it very small, very carefully, also by AP, you get this frosted look. You get what looks like these snowflakes on your watch. And now, what does that achieve? Well, one, it achieves the bell look, but two, most people don't know what it is, but it makes the watch a little bit more durable. It makes it so that scratches don't show up as easily on this watch. One of the more few things, but it's also very exclusive. There are also very few watches that AP goes through the process of frosting because, first of all, it's labor intensive. Second of all, they don't want to do it on all the watches. Otherwise, they dilute the exclusivity of the frosted look. And so, anyways, that's the frosted look. There you have it. And that's the case. Now, let me try it on the side so you can see the profile. It's not very thick. It's only 10 millimeters, just to give you an example. The Rolex Datejust is around 11, 12 millimeters with ladies. So it's actually even thinner than that. And considering what all of this does, it still looks 3D, by the way. When you're talking about having the dial up to get there, it's a very nice thickness, 37 in diameter, 10 millimeters of thickness. It's perfectly fine. Almost any woman can wear this, and if you're a man, if you have smaller wrist, you could probably pull this one off as well, as opposed to wear the 41. Which, by the way, the 41 on the market, at least in 2024, is a crazy amount, like 400,000. So it's like double this price. All right, now let's move on to the dial here. Now, the dial is a Rhodium-Toned Openworked dial with a pink gold applier. So these hour markers you can see here have a very nice touch. They actually apply it in rose gold. Whereas the rest of the watch, they put white gold and they put a Rhodium-Toned, plating. Toned means they plated. So they somehow plated with a rhodium tone. They then put luminescent hour markers. Not only can you see the dial is a thing of beauty during the day, but you could also view it at night because of its luminescence. Thoughtful of. Not a lot of watches are actually luminescent, but almost all will oaks up. So I guess that part really isn't surprising. What I do like about this watch is that they put the rose gold on a very select part. You see the balance wheel on the bottom left-hand corner, right at the 7 o'clock or the 8 o'clock position. That is a very nice place to put it, but they accented it by putting that bridge on the rose gold. So you can see the balance wheel and watch it move. I think it's very beautiful. And then, of course, we move over to the upper right-hand corner. You see the other one, or the barrel, I believe it is. And that's the storage of energy. Okay, and that's the dial. So let's move on to the bezel. Now, we can get this frosted openwork with just a flat bezel. They do sell like that as well. But if you ask me, the most beautiful one is the rainbow bezel. It truly is just a thing of beauty, where they use natural stones when they do it, and they choose them correctly because they can't have a bezel that the color doesn't fade right away. In fact, AP is using 32 cut rainbow color sapphires, 2.24 carats, and individually cut and placed by hand and done in absolute perfection. So it is a thing of beauty. I don't think any other company can do a rainbow bezel better than AP. In fact, AP started it. They started so many things and so many others have followed them. Patek has done a rainbow aquanaut for the first time, and if you ask me, it looks great, but they copied AP. Now, there's nothing wrong with copying AP. They're the greatest. When it comes to this kind of stuff, though, they really kill it on everything. So it's not a bad thing to be the best in the business, which he is. I know you might be asking, well, why is the rainbow aquanaut way more money than this that? Because of its availability. Patek makes very few of them, AP makes much more of them. That's the price. It doesn't mean it's better, in my opinion. Actually, the AP is superior. It looks better, at least in my eyes. Okay, let's move on to the movement here. Well, we actually already kind of talked about it, but we're talking about the back. But now let's look at the back side. Back side is just beautiful as the front, and it has caliber 3132. It's a highly modified movement so that the front looks very beautiful. It has 245 parts. Not a huge amount of parts, but considering that it just tells time and date only, it's actually a lot. Oh, sorry, not just time and date, only time. Literally just time, sorry. Time only. Hour, minute, second, no date. There's no space for the date. It would actually detract from the video. And it doesn't have this beautiful gold rotor and a cutout rotor at that. It's actually the same caliber, 3132. The 41mm actually using the same caliber of movement, which is what you see in the smaller 37er. Alright, why? How do they do that? For the 41, they actually put a spacer around the edge of it to make it fit. Which, if you ask me, it looks a little small for the 41. I don't personally like it because the diameter of the movement is 26mm. If you don't have a reference, 26 inside of the 41 watch, it doesn't look good, but 26 kilometers inside of 37, it looks perfectly fine. It fits better. So I believe that they might rework the movements for a newer Openworked for the 41, but I don't think they'll change the 37. But it's just a guess. Anyways, I've tried to tell you about the movement. Yes, it looks very good. For the size 37, there's no need for a spacer, and that tells me that the movement fits with this size of watch perfect. Okay, that's the movement. Let's move on to the bracelet. Now, the bracelet is the frosted bite gold bracelet, and it just looks like all the other bracelets, to be honest, but it is beautiful because it is frosted. All right, and time for me to try this on and even my thoughts. Now, look, I am obviously a man. I have a big wrist. I have 7.5 inches, so this is small for fun. If you're watching this, you're buying it for your wife or yourself if you have a small wrist. As I said, I would suggest that realistically for a person of my size, larger, around their 7-inch wrist or larger. If you don't know, just go measure it. What are my thoughts? I love this watch. Wish I could wear it. I think it's one of the best unisex watches that they made. I don't think any other brand does it as good. I'm sorry, but Patek's Openworked, the skeleton watch, it doesn't look good. It looks terrible. It retails for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's selling on the secondary market for like $60. It just tells you how good it is. It sucks. It looks terrible, but AP Openworked looks amazing. This is what you see here. I love it, love it, love it, and a lot of people like it too. That is the reason why we're selling above retail and why the market doesn't lie. It's not just my opinion. Well, it is my opinion because it's the correct opinion and everybody else's opinion. The market proves that because all of the Openworks are selling way, way above retail. Every single one of them, it's a smashy hit for them. You have to buy a whole bunch of other stuff before you even consider to buy this watch from AP. Before your name is even in the hat, even you're considered, AP is getting a couple. Your boutique's only getting a couple a year. And they're going to customers that have spent $1 million plus. If you're one of those, oh bless you. If you're not, you can go to jazztime.com and you can get it right away. You don't have to sit that line. You just go to jazztime.com and buy this watch for the lowest price anywhere online.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.